Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varisthaya Ramakrishna te namaha. Namaskar to all of you. Welcome to the study of Bhagavad Gita. We are in the process of studying the 11th verse of the second chapter, where Lord Krishna has commenced the Bhagavad Gita. Before entering into proper Bhagavad Gita, we shall chant 2 verses from the meditation of Bhagavad Gita. You can also chant with me. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Puranamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachadoramardhanam Devaki Paraman Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. We shall chant the 11th verse of the second chapter. Please repeat. Ashochyananvashochastvam pragnavadanscha bhashase Pragnavadhamscha bhashase Gatasun agatasunscha Gatasun agatasunscha Nanushochanti panditaha Nanushochanti panditaha. Ashocyan anvashochastvam pragnavadamscha bhashase Gatasun agatasunscha na anushochanti panditaha. Let me take you through the word-to-word meaning of this. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, the Supreme Lord said, Ashocyan, not worthy of grief. Anvashochaha, but you are mourning. Tvam, you. Pragnavadan, words of wisdom, cha, and bhashase, you are speaking as if you are a man of wisdom, but you are grieving to the people who are not to be grieved upon. Gatasun, the dead, agatasun, the living, cha, and na, never. Anushochanti, lament. Panditaha, the wise, the men of wisdom. The Supreme Lord said, while you speak of wisdom, words of wisdom, you are mourning for that which is not worthy of grief. The men of wisdom, the wise, lament neither for the living nor for dead. So this is the simple meaning of this verse, and until now it was assembled there, condition of Arjuna, lamenting of Arjuna. These were the things which were discussed. In verses only, Krishna, when Arjuna was in a very bad pathetic condition, he gives him some tonic, mental tonic, strong treatment by 2 verses, very strong words. That's all. That was not at all teaching. But now the real Bhagavad Gita teaching starts. Starting with this verse, the 11th verse. So we have not at all conducted the quiz. So now you can note here, which is the verse in Bhagavad Gita where the Lord starts his lecture or teaching on the Supreme Self, or whatever. His teaching really starts in the 11th verse in the 2nd chapter. Starting with this verse, Sri Krishna initiates his discourse with a dramatic opening statement. Arjuna is lamenting for what he feels are very valid reasons. I think you underwent or you studied all the arguments of Arjuna. It looked as if Arjuna is right. Arjuna was truly right. Why is Krishna goading him to kill all these people? It looks as if Krishna is wrong. Because we all identify with Arjuna and we are all facing the same problems. That's why now Krishna, the teachings will give us the correct attitude. Because we are all working, all of us are working like donkeys. But we don't get any result at all. We are suffering and suffering. Why? Because we don't have the right attitude. So when you work with the right attitude or right knowledge, then the work will be fruitful. With the wrong attitude, it becomes not only not fruitful, but it will cause miseries. That's why you are seeing, you are working with so much of attachment without knowledge, correct attitude, and you see everywhere pain and miseries. Arjuna is lamenting are very valid reasons according to him. But rather than commiserating with him, Sri Krishna takes the wind out of his argument. He says, Arjuna, though you may feel you are speaking words of wisdom, you are actually speaking and acting out of ignorance. That's why, after so much of lecturing by Arjuna to Krishna about so many things in the first chapter you have seen, he spoke about the Pitrus, the Varna Sankara, that there will be so many people killed and the society will be spoiled. All such wonderful arguments were given. Krishna didn't speak at all. You know why Krishna didn't speak? I'll just give you one wonderful humorous statement in English. What is that? Never approach a bull from the front. You know what is a bull. If you approach a bull from the front, I need not explain what is going to happen to you, isn't it? Okay. Never approach a horse or a donkey or a mule from the back. If you approach the donkey from the back, you know what is going to happen. Similarly, never approach an idiot or a fool from any direction. Not only from the front or the back or somewhat, don't approach such a person from any direction. Then there is another beautiful statement in English, that is, where ignorance is bliss. Note the words, where ignorance is bliss. To be wise there is foolish. So Krishna avoided giving any teachings there because Arjuna went on arguing and putting out his egoistic statements. But when out of total confusion, he stopped arguing and surrendered to Krishna, then only reaching him. Until then, he never spoke. He's the Lord of the universe. He could have just spoken and brought him into control. Never. Likewise, the Lord also has given us freedom in our life. Is everywhere, everything is there, good and bad. You have to choose. You have to learn. You have to stand on your own feet. The Lord will never interfere. You have to learn. But when you are taking some bad decisions and wrong things and suffer, then if you take recourse or if you surrender to the Lord, then only He will come and help you. That is the place of the God. Then you may ask, if everything is going on according to the karma, good or bad deeds, we are getting the result, then what is the place of God? Place of God is when you surrender to Him, when you pray to Him, He will take you out of that situation. He has given you the freedom. Work it out. Stand on your own feet. Work it out. Stand on your own feet. Develop. And I've told many times, I think this is the third time I'm telling, after all the Bhagavad Gita is told to Arjuna, again in the last he will tell, now you decide what to do. You take the proper action. You take the proper decision. He never, forced Arjuna, no, you have to do this. No, I have told all these things to you. Now you discriminate, take the right decision. Then Arjuna in the last, all my doubts have gone. Now everything is clear. Now I am going to perform my duty. So that is how God also gives us free will and freedom. Now it is upon you to work out everything. And then if you need the help, God will come to help you. If you don't, if you want to stand on your own effort, please go forward. There are so many ways. Bhakti Yoga, God help. He will help you as a personal God. Gnana Yoga, you need not take the help of God. You will completely depend upon vichara, discrimination, upon your own self-effort. Raja Yoga, purely science. Just like chemistry, you put this and this, you will get this. So you do these practices, this yoga, this asana, this pranayama, you will go to this step. And you will find this, you will find this. Everything is like mathematics. Pure. You are completely depending upon Lord, and Lord will help you at every step. Choose whatever you want. No force. That is the speciality of our religion, Hinduism. No force at all. Perfect freedom. And Swami Vivekananda tells, what is the first and foremost condition of spiritual life or religion in Hinduism or anything? It is liberty. Liberty is the first and foremost condition in spiritual life. Then you have to face the music and consequences. I will again give an example of Duryodhana. You know Duryodhana. Who is Duryodhana? The eldest of the Kauravas. When Shri Krishna went to make peace, so that there will be no war, there will be no bloodshed, there will be no death. Only according to the proper righteousness, rightful activity, you have to give the kingdom to Pandavas, which belongs to them. If you don't want to give all the kingdom, give half of it, okay? They will leave, there will be no war. They will just keep quiet. I will see that it will happen. He refused. No, I'm not going to give. Then Krishna told, okay, Duryodhana, if you don't want to give full kingdom because that properly belongs to them, you had taken it through the wrong means. Now they have finished Vanavasa, they have come back. Give the thing. You told, okay, no. Half? No. Give them. Let there be no bloodshed. There be no war. Krishna pleaded with Duryodhana. Told, no. I am not going to give not only any part of the land, not even land worth of 5 points of a needle, let alone 5 villages. You know the needle. What will be the point of the needle? Even that much worth of land I am not going to give to the Pandavas. Krishna is pleading so that there will be no bloodshed. There will be no war. Then Krishna showed his Vishwarupa and Duryodhana fell down from his seat and fell at the feet of the Lord. Who can bind the Lord? Then only war happened. So God gives us all the liberty. He will never force you. So many chances. So what did Duryodhana tell? Janami dharmyam. I know what is righteous path. Because all the kings were trained, educated in righteousness, and every field of education was given to them. So he knows. He tells, I know what is dharma, righteousness. Nachame pravrittihi. I don't have the inclination to follow it. Janam adharmam. I know what is unrighteousness, but I don't want to give it up. I know what is unrighteousness too, but now I am following it. I am following the unrighteous method. I don't want to give it up. This was the statement of Duryodhana to Krishna when he pleaded. Then Krishna told, yes, then you have to face the music. You will see the pain. A whole family of yours will be destroyed. So you have to face. Likewise, God has given everything to us. Take the right decision. He has given us the power of discrimination to know what is between right and wrong, good and bad. But our mind is goaded to all bad things and we burn, we put our hand into the fire. Our elders tell, please don't put your hand into the fire, it will burn you. No, I want to experience it. I want freedom. I'm going to put my hand into the fire. Please experience it. So, now never approach a bull from the front, a horse or a donkey or a mule from behind, an idiot or a foolish person from any direction. That's why Krishna started his teaching now. Now he says, Arjuna, though you may feel you are speaking words of wisdom, you are actually speaking and acting out of ignorance. Why? Because you are speaking as if all the great things. But what is your condition? You are grieving. Will a person of knowledge grieve? Will he be in lamentation and sorrow? Will his legs start shivering and he will fall down? So much of, you can see all the features of depression and anxiety. Now, will a person of wisdom behave like this? But your words speak as if you are a great man of wisdom. So, Arjuna, though you may feel you are speaking words of wisdom, you are actually speaking and acting out of ignorance. No possible reason justifies lamentation. Men of wisdom will never grieve. That's what in the earlier classes I told. The first message here to all of us is, you should never grieve, you should never worry. For any reason, you should never worry. I gave then What are we to do when we get difficulties in life, when we see our own kith and kin in trouble? Should we not worry? Should we not grieve? Yes, you can grieve. You can worry if it solves the problem. You can worry as much as you like, but it will never solve. Worrying and grieving will never solve any problem. Rather, it will aggravate the problem. One more addition is it will spoil your health too. Chin, one small dot, that becomes chinta. If you remove that small dot, what does it become? Chita. What is meaning of chita in Sanskrit? Chita means the pyre, where the dead body is burnt. So what is the difference between chinta and chita? One small dot. So, but what is the difference? Externally, chita burns only the dead body. Chinta with a living body. Chita, the pyre, burns only the dead body. But worry burns the living person. That's the difference, you see. That's why Krishna's first teaching in this thing is, you should never worry. You should never grieve. You should never go into anxiety or depression. Then what are we to do when we are in difficulty? Should we not? No. Do not. Ocean of difference between worry and concern. What is worry? Impulsive. You just automatically get into that mode. It's not in your control. Concern is well thought of. You think, you discriminate, you know the right and the wrong, and you are performing your duty properly. That is concern. So please be concerned. Do not be worried. That is what first and foremost, first teaching of Krishna for all of us is, do not worry for any reason, for anything. You should never grieve. The men of wisdom will never grieve. Arjuna, you are grieving. That means it shows you are a man of ignorance. You are not a man of wisdom. Men of wisdom, men of knowledge will never grieve. So if we are grieving, that means we are grieving out of ignorance. No possible reason justifies lamentation. The Pandits, those who are wise, never lament. You think that Pandit means scholar, a priest. We get it. Called cooks also as Pandits. The cooks are also called Pandits. So now, Panda, Pandit, it comes to such a low level. But here, Krishna is uttering the word Pandit, means those who are men of wisdom. They never lament, neither for the living nor for the dead. Gata soon, agata soon. Hence, the grief you visualize in killing your relatives is illusory. And it proves that you are not a Pandit. Okay. Let us take from the point of view, whom are you grieving for? Yes, you are always mentioning, oh, my grandsire Bhishma, oh, my Guru Dronacharya, I'm to kill, so how can I? You are lamenting. Okay, let us take from that point of view. One does not need to go far to find a wise person above lamentation. For grandsire Bhishma himself was the perfect example. He was a sage. He was the son of Mother Ganga. He was one of the avatar of Ashtavasu Devatas. He was the son of Mother Ganga. He was a celibate all through his life, man of sacrifice. He has so many great qualities. He gave all the Shastras, the great scriptures. He was expert in warfare, intelligent person. So now he was a series of life and death and risen above the dualities of circumstances, serene in any eventuality. He had even consented to take the side of the wicked if it served the Lord. He thus demonstrated that those who are surrendered to God simply do their duty in all situations without being affected by outcomes. If you perform all your work as duties, not getting attached to that selfishly or in any other way, that duty will not cause any karma, bad or good. A karma or a work is neither good nor bad. A work or whatever action you do is neither good nor bad. Can you prove? Can you give any example? Yes. Now, a person, a military general or a military personnel, he takes a machine gun, goes to the battlefront. So the enemy army is marching or the terrorists are entering your country to kill. What does he do with that machine gun? He kills all 100 or 200 or 1000 terrorists. What do? You bring him, you give him so many medals, and you reward him, award him, give him money, and what not. Isn't it? What did he do? He took a gun and killed people. Okay. If the same military personnel in the house, for the sake of the property, he has a feud with his neighbor, they're quarreling, he takes the same gun and kills the neighbor for the property. What will you do? What will the government do? Put him to the jail. Why? It was the same work, taking a gun and killing a person. That too there it was 100. It was the same work, but the result was different. So work is neither good nor bad. When it is associated with unselfishness, as a soldier, when he goes to the battlefield, he sacrifices his own life. For the sake of the country, he keeps his life as a bet and goes to the thing and works there, kills the terrorists or the enemies. So, because of unselfishness, the work became good. Unselfish attitude. Here, neighbor, it was for property. It was for selfishness. Gain. He killed that person. So, selfishness is attached to that work. So, the work became bad. In itself, work is neither good nor bad. Any work is neutral always. It's neither good nor bad. But when you associate with selfishness and unselfishness, it becomes good or bad. Now, why is Krishna calling the nature or lamenting of this thing as bad? Because it is out of emotionalism. It is because of attachment. Arjuna is doing that. It is not out of higher purpose. That's why Krishna is pointing out that you are doing the wrong thing. He thus demonstrated Bhishma that those who are surrendered to God simply do their duty in all situations without being affected by results, outcome. You don't study for the examination, but you go on worrying about the result of the examination. Can you achieve anything? You don't study for the examination, but you go on worrying, oh, what will happen to the result? How much marks am I going to get? What will happen if the person who is correcting the examination paper is somewhat half mad, and if he gives less mark? What if my paper get mixed up with somebody else's? So I'm just worrying about the result. But instead, if I do my duty properly, do not worry about the result. If you put in the best of your effort, you are going to get your result. That's what Krishna is telling. Do not be unduly worried. Why do we worry? When do we worry? We either worry for the past or we worry for the future, uncertainty of the future. Just always you see your mind will be moving like a pendulum, either worrying about the past, which has gone out of your hand. That's what Krishna is telling. Gata soon. People who are already dead. What is the use of worrying? They can't come back. Gata soon. Agata soon. Future. Those who are not dead. Either you will worry for the people who are not dead, or you will worry for the people who are dead. That is past and future. You never learn to live present. We never live in the present at all. When you live in the present, that is the best moment of your life. That's what Krishna is telling. Do your duty. That is living in the present. What should I do now? What's my duty now? That's very important. We will either worry about the past, which is out of my hand, or I will unduly worry about the future, which is again not in your hand. That's what Krishna is telling. Gatasun agatasuncha nanu shochanti panditaha. Simply do your duty in all situations without being affected by outcomes. Such person never lament because they accept all circumstances as God's grace. Now, we will go to the same subject a little more deeper way. We shall take the help of Swami Vivekananda. Then you will enjoy it a little more, because always Vivekananda analyzes everything scientifically, logically, and then gives out things. He never goes emotionally. He always gives the science behind the spirituality or religion so wonderfully. So what does Vivekananda tell about this verse? Vivekananda takes it in a very beautiful way. What does he tell? The conflict in Arjuna's heart between his emotionalism and his duty. The nearer we are to beasts, animals, more we are in the hell of emotions. We wrongly call it as love. We wrongly call our attachment as love. I've given you earlier many times the difference between attachment and love. If I go again, I'll be going back. Let me not go back. You can go to the earlier, this thing in the beginning, in the introduction itself I have given, or else some other time I'm going to give if you want. So here, we wrongly call it as love. It is self-hypnotization. We are under the control of our emotions like animals. A cow can sacrifice its life for its calf. Every animal can do it. Even a rat or any other animal can do it. What of that? It is not the blind, bird-like emotion that leads to perfection. It is not the blind, bird-like emotion that leads to perfection. To reach the eternal consciousness, that is the goal of man, that is the realization of your true self, their emotion has no place, nor sentimentalism, nor anything that belongs to the senses, only the light of pure reason. Now you came to know why Lord Krishna is giving him knowledge of the self. If you want to get higher things, it's pure knowledge which can give you truth or whatever you want. So now Arjuna is under the control of this emotionalism, attachment. Is not what he should be, a great self-controlled, enlightened sage working through the... He has become like an animal, like a baby, just letting his heart carry away his brain, making a fool of himself and trying to cover his weakness with the flowery name of love. And so on. Lord Krishna sees through that. Arjuna talks like a man of little learning and brings out many reasons, but at the same time, he talks the language of a fool. These are the words of Swami Vivekananda. Note it. The sage is never sorry nor for those that die. Now he was worrying for great personalities like Bhishma and Drona. Do you need to grieve for them. They're already great personalities. They're already great men of realization. You may kill them. Who knows, you may get killed from them. Again, you're thinking of future result. So both way you are grieving. That's why it's not right. Krishna could see, but he notes it as if he is a great man of forgiveness. As if he's telling, I'm going to forgive them. If weak and passive is not true. Fight is better than wrong way of forgiving. Forgive when you could bring legions of angels to the victory. Then if you forgive, there is some reason. Krishna, the charioteer of Arjuna, hears him say, let us forgive our enemies, and answers, you speak the words of the wise man, but you are not a wise man, but a coward. As a lotus leaf living in the water, yet untouched by it, so should the soul be in this world. This is a battlefield. Fight your way out. Life in this world is an attempt to see God. Make your life a manifestation of will strengthened by renunciation. So, how to live? That's why in Hinduism, so many beautiful things are taken up. Most of the gods are sitting on lotus. Here too, you see, there is lotus. The flower vase is covering it. Really, Master is sitting on the lotus. Lakshmi is sitting on lotus. Saraswati is sitting on lotus. Everywhere you will see lotus. And also, you will also sit in lotus posture. You will tell half Hinduism. They take swan and many other animals. What is that significance? Let me now focus on only lotus. Because lotus, it comes out from the plant, the root, in the mud, slush, dirty water. Its leaf and the petals, they live in water, they live in dirt, but they never touch it. Even if a drop of, it can never wet the leaf or the lotus. So, live in this world, which is both good and bad and everything. Live in this world, but be untouched by like the lotus. That is the idea of choosing the lotus as the flower, though it may not be so beautiful like Proteus. Lotus may not be so beautiful like some other flowers. But why is lotus chosen in Hinduism? See what a wonderful idea behind it. Live in the world. The lotus lives in the mud, slush and impurity, dirty water, but it never touches it. Likewise, this world may be bad. This world may be having good things also, dirt also. Live in the world, but do not be touched by the bad things of the world. Live like the lotus. That is the idea of lotus. Everywhere you will see lotus blooming in Hinduism. The Lord is sitting on the lotus. Or any other lotus thing, everything is for live in the world. There is both good and bad. Do not worry about it. Live like lotus. That is the idea. Now, the same wonderful will go some more deeper into this beautiful verse. Arjuna's utterances in this verse and all the earlier verses, that is 35 to 44 of the first chapter, are commented upon here in this verse by the Lord. So see, from the 35 to 44 verses of the first chapter, Arjuna is lecturing and advising Krishna, as if he is a great person of knowledge, and the Lord himself is in front of him, he is lecturing him. Why? We also do that. You know, there is a saying in India that something we don't want, what do? We advertise so much, give it a beautiful coloring and painting, and give it to other people free of cost. We have something extra, so many junk in our house. So we will give it away free of cost to somebody else when something is junk and we do not want. But something is there which we want, which is very valuable for us, for me, but I want to give it free of cost to others. What is that? It is very, very necessary to me. It's very valuable, but I will give it free of cost to others. What is that? Advice. I need it very much, but I'll go on giving it to everybody free of cost. Advice. Why it is free of cost, you see? That's why here Arjuna started giving advice to Lord Krishna himself. We too do that, you see. We too always do that. They tell, recently I told that beautiful thing. What is that? Light travels faster than sound, isn't it? So when they see your face, bright face, because light travels faster, they will have a very good opinion about you. But the moment the sound from the mouth comes out, you start speaking, all their opinion will go down. See how beautiful example of light traveling faster than sound. So the moment they see your face, because of the light, seeing it so bright, they think that you are so intelligent. But the moment you start speaking, your true color will come out. That's why do not talk too much, as less as possible. Now Arjuna is giving out all his weakness because of his speaking. Now Krishna is commenting upon that. The Lord puts it to him that while his arguments appear as words of wisdom, apparently, actually, they are not. The way of the world is to classify a man of learning as Pandita. But the Lord does not do so. He holds that the one who truly knows the plan and purpose of this universe is a Pandita. Such a one will not grieve, not over death of the kin, or any more than one grieves over the sunset. Will you start grieving over the sunset? Oh, the sun has set, sun is gone, what shall I do? Arey, tomorrow morning the sun will come back. Why do you want to grieve in the evening because the sun has set? So if you are grieving for the sunset, it is same like grieving for the death of your kith and kin. That is the reason I gave up my house and became a monk. Even when I was a small child, I used to get the thought, what is that? A child of maybe 6 or 7, I used to think, oh, nobody will die in this world. All will be living happily. Then I saw people dying outside, everywhere. Then I thought, oh, outside people die. My kith and kin, my relatives will not die. Then one fine day, when I was in my 6th grade or so, my own pre-monastic sister passed away. I was so small. Oh, my family members also die. Then my heart started sinking. It started worrying. The mother, my biological mother whom I loved so much, will she also die one day? Should I part from her? How can I live without her? I loved her so much. So that went deep into my heart. Suddenly in the night I used to get up with nightmares as a small child. Then I went and embraced my mother early in the morning because I couldn't sleep because of that pain in my heart. One day my mother is going to die. I embraced my mother from behind. I asked, I can't ask her directly, Mother, are you also going to die one day? How can I ask the question? So I asked it indirectly, Mother, how could you withstand the pain from the separation of your parents when they died? I wanted an answer, but Mother told, my dear child, looking at all you children, my children, I forgot the death of my parents. That was not sufficient for my heart. So it started seriously thinking from then on. Then I used to go here and there, finding the answer. What is the meaning of this life? Why have we come here? If one day everybody has to die, if even all the people whom we love have to die, then what is the meaning of this life? Why have we come here for? Then that made me to come to Ramakrishna Ashram. The first book which I read was Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. That gave so many answers. And I was satisfied by realizing the truth of our own real self. We get all the answers of this mystery of this world. Because it is the same spirit or consciousness, the Atman which is present in me, is present in my mother, is present in soul. The death is only to the body. So what is the point in grieving for the destruction of the body? You just throw the old cloth and buy a new cloth. So giving up that old cloth, Vasamsi Jirnani Yata Vihaya, Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita. Just like throwing away the old cloth, worn out cloth. That is called death. When you give up the desires to enjoy the life, the taking of new body is called birth. That's all. See? Now the sting of death is gone. The pain of death is somewhat reduced. It is only giving up a body which is of no use now. For a short period, suppose you are going on the street, you fall down and the cloth is torn or dirtied. What do? You go to a cloth shop, garment shop. Then you go to a dark room, change the cloth, and then wear a new cloth and come out. For some time, you are invisible in the dark room. That is death. And you come out with a new cloth. That is birth. That's all. That is death and birth. See, Krishna has made it so simple. Then that fear of death, that missed all that you are going to learn. Now Krishna will tell you that, give you the beautiful knowledge of who we really are. What is our true nature? When we get that highest knowledge, then automatically that pain, that emotion, everything will subside. It is not enough because you are only intellectually convinced. You have to convince yourself by doing sadhana, by realizing it, by knowing it for yourself. That is called spiritual practice, sadhana. You have to realize that. But before that, you have to intellectually get convinced. Without getting intellectually convinced, then you will not get into spiritual practice. That's why Krishna is giving the set of beautiful teachings whereby you can know what is your true self. So it will be so beautiful and you will enjoy that at every step. And all your fears, all your worries, you can see slowly it is going down and down in your life. Because you are getting the answers. You are getting the solutions for all the problems of your life. That's why we have to study. See, this is Bhagavad Gita. What a great scriptures we have. We have never attempted to study this. The Christians at least, the parents force Gita. Have you attempted? Even the very first teaching is giving so much of solace and so much of peace. And what if you study and realize that all the thing, how happy you can be, what will be your life, what a changed attitude will be. So that's why let us take it up seriously and study this wonderful thing. Now, the way of the world is to classify a man of learning as Pandita. But the Lord does not do so. He holds that the one who is truly knows the plan and purpose of the universe is Pandita. Such a one never grieves over the death of his kin any more than one grieves over the sunset. Grief is meaningless to knowing one. Keeping the mind constant in all eventualities is the way of the wise. Keeping your mind equanimous, in equanimity. That is the nature of men of wisdom. They will never be fluctuating. Grief is meaningless to the knowing one. Keeping the mind constant in all eventualities is the way of the wise. While speaking like an enlightened one, Arjuna sorrows like an ignorant one. This inconsistency in him is pointed out by the Lord. Bhishma and Drona are great sages who have probed into the mystery of life and death. They are not ruffled over the end that is to come to them forthwith. Forced by circumstances, they have taken sides with the wicked in a true sportsman's spirit. Bhishma, in particular, plays his part best, remaining unaffected by the consequences. But Arjuna grieves for these very persons who should not be grieved for. That's why Krishna is telling Arjuna, you are grieving for the people whom you should not grieve. Now, who is Yogishvara? So there is a difference between Yogi, Y-O-G-I-S-H-W-A-R-A. Yogishvara is a person who practices yoga and becomes an adept. He is called Yogishvara. But Shri Krishna is more than that. He is Yogeshvara. What is the difference between Yogeshvara? Yogeshvara is one who practices yoga and becomes adept in it. But Krishna is Yogeshvara. What is the meaning? It is yoga in all its form that ever emanates from Lord Krishna. As light and heat constantly comes from the sun, yoga comes out from this great entity called Lord Krishna. He is therefore Yogeshvara. You may be knowing now the meaning difference between Yogeshvara, one who is adept in yoga, Yogeshvara, who is giving yoga, who is the goal of all yoga, is Lord Krishna. The Lord of yoga is pointing out to Arjuna that he is devoid of the very first step in yoga. He who harmonizes his thoughts, word and deed verily gets into yoga. See, his thought, his deed, his speech is not at all harmonizing. A person, a man of wisdom, so now you can analyze yourself, your day-to-day activity. Your thought will be something, your action will be something, your words will be something. So harmonizing, making them one is yoga. That's what Krishna is showing. That's why Ramakrishna used to always tell in the gospel, Man Muk Akkora, to make your speech. That truthfulness means just babbling out something on the face of somebody and paining their mind is called truth. No. Making your thought, your deed, your words, one is truthfulness. They should align together. See? Lord Krishna of yoga points out to Arjuna that he is devoid of the very first step in yoga. He who into shops or of the people, they are called, what are they called? The people who advertise the thing and sell the things to the different companies. So they are trained by the managers that when you go, when you speak to them, you should have a beautiful smile on your face. Even though you may not like that person who is in front of you, you should tell, very glad to meet you. You may not like him to even to look at his face. You don't like him, but you have to utter. See, this is untruthfulness. We have been trained. Why? For the sake of earning some money, we are giving up truthfulness. Not that you should tell on the face that you don't like him or something like that. But instead of looking into the external feature, look into the beauty of the Atman which is present in everybody, the self which is present in everybody. Then you need not have to see the ugly face or the ugly nature of that person. It is told in yoga, what is a bad person? What is a good person? It is nothing but, suppose you are wearing a dirty cloth, that is a bad person. Suppose you are wearing a fresh and beautiful good cloth, it's a good, that's all. The Atman itself is pure. But when the character which we have developed is bad, it becomes a bad person. It doesn't touch the true self, the Atman which is within you. It's only the exterior. Then what are you looking at? The dead character or the Atman? So if you see the Lord who is present in everybody, then you can't see the wickedness. That's why I give you the example of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, by look, he was very ugly. You've seen his face, I think. Abraham Lincoln, the President of America, USA, United States of America. A father was taking a small girl to meet him. He had warned, because the children are very truthful. They don't know. They can't tell lies. They tell everything directly, or neither they want to hurt anybody. So he warned that child, when we are talking with the president, don't talk about his ugly face or something. Should never utter anything about it. Yes, father, I will not. The meeting got over. The child was about to come out. Then it is telling the father. Abraham Lincoln treated the girl with so much of love, so much of affection. Served the child with such great care. Now the baby, that girl, welcoming her father, you too makes you ugly or beautiful. It's your guna, your quality, your nature that makes it. So the baby saw the beautiful quality of Abraham Lincoln, not the external face. The Lord will see that. See, he's telling Arjuna the same thing. He thinks one way, speaks another way, and acts in yet another way. The personality thereby gets split, integrity shattered, and character lost. Such a man falls from yoga. Arjuna is warned against this fall in the beginning itself. So it's a warning to all of us. Now Ramakrishna's teaching will help us. Speak out that only which is in your mind. Do not create conflict between word and deed. Nothing good comes from the disharmony of the thought, word and deed in oneself. These are the words of Sri Ramakrishna in Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Now about this thought, word and deed, if we put into practice in this bad world, we can't do business, we can't earn money, we have to tell untruth, we have to show all these faces to different people, then only we can earn some money, or we can't live in this world, is the argument of most of the people, isn't it? Everybody will tell, you may be agreeing to all what I say, but within your mind you may be thinking, can we live in this world by telling the truth and making everything straight? No. Now, let us take the help of Sharadaanandaji Maharaj, another great direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. He tells in the first chapter, wherever you can see that there, why Krishna has started this talk with that words of Arjuna. The second thing we learnt was that there should be harmony between our thoughts and our speech, which means it won't do to talk like a wise person and act in a contrary manner. Sri Ramakrishna used to say that harmonizing one's thoughts and speech is the chief spiritual practice. This is true in every situation and is essential everywhere, in matters whether it is religion or secular. Many may say that harmonizing thoughts and speech may be possible in religious life, but it cannot be practiced in secular life or in our business. But Sharadaanandaji Maharaj tells that is not true. with the advances made in various fields in this modern age, people now realize that even in a very secular endeavor such as trade, the extent of their dynamism and hard work done with thoughts and speech in harmony determines the degree of their success. Even in this world, even in business, your straight thinking and harmonizing your thought with deed will only bring success. Now, we'll take up, still go deeper into the teachings of Krishna. Why? Because we have to connect that to our life. Yes, 30,000 years back, Arjuna was told in that situation. What is that to us now? How to make it relevant? That's why I always try to connect it to our life. Then only it will be more meaningful. So we will go deeper and deeper, connect it to our life. Though I think I have started this discussion on this verse, the 11th verse, the first teaching of Krishna, past 2 classes, I think. 2 hours or even more than 2 hours. This is the 3rd class I couldn't complete. Because so many different aspects of this teaching has to be taken off and then connected to our life, and then we can practice it and go forward little by little, little by little. Then we can enjoy it. Otherwise, just like parrot, we can hear something and forget about it. No, that is not our aim. We have to put it into practice in our day-to-day life and get the benefit of it. That's why what is told in the meditation verse, Sarvopanishado Gavo, all the Upanishad or the highest Vedanta, the Vedic teachings are the cows. Dogda Gopalanandana. Krishna is the cowherd. Partho Vatsaha. Arjuna is the calf. How do you milk the cow? You need a calf. The calf is sent. It is allowed to suckle the udder of the cow. Then the mother cow will start releasing the milk. Then the calf is taken away. Then this milkman will take the milk and give it to all of the other people. They take that nourishment and they become strong. So here, all the Upanishads, the Vedas are the cow. Krishna is the cowherd, milkman. Arjuna is the calf. Through Arjuna, the essence of Vedas, Upanishad, the knowledge is the milk. All of us have to take it and drink. Not only just the milk is not arati. It is to drink and get the nourishment and become strong. That's why we are reading Bhagavad Gita. We are studying it not just to worship, or that is a religious textbook, or it is told by Krishna, but we have to practice it. It is practical. And then get the benefit of it. Always we talk of utility. Every time tell, what do I get from that? Go and do this job. What do I gain by that? So, here also, after studying Bhagavad Gita, you will gain so much. By practicing it, you will benefit so much. That's why do it with great care. So now we will end our discussion for today with one of the meditation verses of Bhagavad Gita. Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.